This is question 2A, part 3. So here's our question here, and it's talking about our organic apples and conventional apples. And we are told that in total there were 171,000 organic apples. Okay, remember we've got some organic, some conventional. And we've got 171,000 total organic apples grown. So then, based on the sample that we've got above, and our sample is of 1,200, we want to know how many apples would be expected to be grown conventionally and be diseased. Okay, so there's a little bit of a trick to this question. So let's start by looking at what is the probability that a conventional apple is diseased. Okay, I'm just going to start from this very last part. What's the probability that an apple is grown conventionally and diseased? So conventional and disease. So in that case, our probability, we've got 122 apples that are conventional and diseased out of the 1,200 in our sample. Okay, so 122 over 1,200, and that's going to give me, you can leave it as that, or you can write it as 0.102, or 10%. Okay, now there's this other key word that's been used, expected. So as soon as we see expected, we think E equals N times P. Okay, so that's good to know that, and that's what we're trying to find. But we've got a little bit of a trick in here. We've got our probability, conventional and diseased, which is our 0.102. So we have our probability. We know that is 0.102. However, for the value of N, we don't know what the total number of apples are. We know what the total number of organic apples are, but not how many organic and conventional apples there are in total. Okay? So we've got to kind of use a little bit of a ratio here, a bit of proportional thinking going on. So I know that there are 171,000 organic apples. Now, if I have to estimate how many there would be in total, I can look at my sample and say, right, from my sample, I have 1,200 apples that there are in total, and from that 1,200, 560 of them are organic. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take that 1,200 and that 560, and I'm going to make a proportion out of that. I'm going to say multiply that by 1,200 over 560, because that 171 needs to get bigger to find the total number of all apples. And so that's why I'm multiplying it by a fraction that's going to make this larger. And then I'm going to multiply by our proportion of 0.102. And that will now give me 37,254. So that tells me that the number of conventionally grown apples with a disease, I'm expecting there to be 37,254 of them.